Hey y'all, it's Renee, and I garden in Zone 9B, the Panhandle, Florida region, and welcome back to my garden. So today we're going to walk around and hopefully look at some pretty things, and also you'll get to see what's doing well and what isn't in my Gulf Coast garden area along the Emerald Coast. So let's go ahead and get going. All right, I just love this view of my yard. When I turn the corner of the back of my house into the backyard, it just does it for me. But let's go ahead and start here because we're going to talk about this gumbo azalea that's right down here. And that is blooming. It doesn't have a lot of blooms on the tips, but you can see right down in here, it has some beautiful, really pretty pink blossoms in there. So here's my autumn fire ferns in my backyard, and they are looking really beautiful, especially starting to take on some of this beautiful orangey, peachy fronds. Really gorgeous right now. We're going to also take a hot minute and we're going to talk about my hosta situation. So this one I think is like a cherry pop or something, and this is how big it is in 3 years that I've had it. I know you're going to say, but Renee, they're just now popping up. But I'm telling you, it is almost the beginning of summer here in Florida, and my hostas, this is about as big as they get. That right there is, I think, a baby blackberry, so I might be transplanting that to a different region of my yard because it's not going to get much in my beautiful shade garden over here. This, I think it's like a gourd hosta. It does okay back in here. I'm not going to say it does great, but what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to show you a part of my yard where the hosta, for me, and it's my #1 hosta in Florida. So let me show you that one. So right there, my friends, that is the hosta we need to be getting in Florida. It is the Remembering Diana one. Now this one over here is, I believe, stained glass. I ordered that one off Etsy. It actually is doing well here too. I just can't believe it. But I have several of these Remembering Dianas in my yard, and they have all done well, and they come back every year, and they have gotten bigger over the years that I've had them. I am very, very happy with these. The next thing is this coleus in here. I know people say grow them for the leaves, but I'm telling you, I get a lot of flower stalks on mine, and I think they're just gorgeous. I just love these. And I'm probably going to add more coleus because they were super easy to propagate at the end of the season last year, that I think I'm going to try some different colors too, but they look just amazing. We're going to take a moment and look at my red-faced monkey Japanese maple. Look at those pretty, darling little hot pink edges that are on this tree. And since I moved it here from the back of my property, it has started finally putting on some growth. Reminds me a lot of butterfly, if you're familiar with that particular one, but really pretty. Finally, my Hannah Matoi is putting on some true coloration, but it is such a small part of this tree. It's almost reverted back to something else, but the few branches that still have that are just super pretty. Really enjoy that. I'm also loving my Amistad salvia that's about to come into bloom over here. Really pretty. It is my favorite salvia too, and it came back beautifully this year. This was kind of a no-name salvia. I'm just not sure because it didn't have a name, but I saw salvia, it was the right price, and I am not disappointed. The first year, not so much, but this year, really good. And then, of course, my true pineapple sage over here is doing great as well. The black and blues that I have planted, you can see that there's a baby one over here, and then there's a baby one over here. They're slow to take, but I am hopeful that they will be doing well as well soon. And then over here is a proven winners. I picked this one up over in Daphne, Alabama. It's unplugged pink, but it did fairly well last year. But you know, it's a salvia, so I'm hoping it'll do well. And then we're going to talk about my rose over here right now. So here is Elizabeth, and I'm telling you, this rose is so happy here in Florida. And this is, I planted this one last year, and let me tell you, it was fairly disease resistant and has put on this huge show so far this year. And the only fault on this one that I have to say is that it doesn't have a really strong scent, but oh my gosh, what it makes up on is vigor and prolific blooms. Absolutely beautiful. My Princess Alexandra of Kent had bloomed already, but it's already putting on new blossoms. So exciting. This is one of my Korean maples that I have. It's a variegated one. You can see the true variegation on that light colored one, but sometimes Japanese maples here, the one year they may not seem to have the true leaves, but then in future years they might. Really depends sometimes even on the sunlight when they're just starting to leaf out. So hopefully this one next year will be a better show for me. So this is my other Korean pictum that I have, and you can see here that the coloration is much more even toned throughout the leaves. But I mean, it is a beautiful leaf too. I love these bigger leaves, really gorgeous. My other pictum is Usugumo. So let me show you Usugumo. So Usugumo used to be over in a darkened corner of my yard, and we moved her about 2 weeks ago, or him. And it's putting on some more leaves now, but you can see that it is quite leggy at this moment. And my hope is that soon it'll recover with the more sunlight that it's going to get. But not dead, not disappointed. And she did come to me in the Y there, so I didn't make a cut there. And you can only really get these from Mr. Maple. So as far as I know, they're the only ones that sell the pictums. And I can't say enough in the Florida that they seem to do pretty well. Not disappointed at all with those. So the big leaf hydrangea highway that I have back here is doing fabulous. Love it, love it. And they're already starting to put on some new blossoms. So exciting. So that'll let you know how far along my hydrangeas are in the garden. They're about to start blossoming. So now we're going to talk about the peas over here, my friend. So these are not doing so great for me. I have several different ones back here. They do not do so great. They're barely hanging on. Kind of a surprise over here while I'm looking is I'm pretty sure my almond tree has a nut on it. Let's see if I can find that. So I'm finding these little tiny things on there, and I don't know if they're like old blossoms. I thought there was one like right up in here, but it looks like it's shriveled up some. So I'm not quite sure what's going on with it. I've never grown nut trees before, so I'm not sure what baby nuts look like, but probably some of you out there have. I'd love for you to comment down below and tell me what baby nuts wind up looking like. You can see though where some of the blossoms were on the tips of these branches. So I don't know if the flower falls off and that's where the nut's going to be forming, because that's how it is on my citrus tree, which is over here. And you can already see the baby fruit forming on it. So I'm hoping that I'll get some nuts maybe. I think it's like the 3rd or 4th year it's been in the ground. Not my citrus tree, that's been in here for about 10. So we'll just have to wait and see on that. So over here I have 3 heliotropes, and you can already see, I'm not gonna lie, I can smell it from here. But this is the marine heliotrope, and it did just fine over our snowy winter. And so I am so thrilled. I am propagating a few of these right now to put in other parts of my yard, but it is just a gorgeous plant that does well here. I think every southern gardener should have some of these in their yard. Down here you can see I have still some dahlias. These are actually 3 dahlias that I dug up. So 1, 2, and 3. I dug those up right before the snow. And one was really shriveled up bad by the end of the winter when I went to go replant it. I guess it didn't have enough moisture in the soil that I had put it in. So, and it came back. I was really surprised, but it's got some leaves on it. I think it was this one right over here. But yeah, it's doing really good. So another interesting thing is, I didn't know tiger lilies got 4 feet tall, but these are about to bust open, so I can't wait. This is my first time with these bulbs, but it is quite large, and they're little pots that I put them in, little gallon pots. But we'll get them blooming, and then we'll let them sit for a while, and then we'll see if we can divide them and get some new bulbs to put in, and these I'll probably put in the ground. Boscabel is looking really pretty these days. So is the Desdemona over here. Oh my goodness, both of them together, just glorious. And then over here, I have an Onwick, or Annick, I think is how they pronounce it over in England. But really just my favorite scent, just really beautiful. And then I think it's time to go. So these are just a few of my propagations I've been doing and growing some things from seed. I will tell you, I ordered some packets from Eden Brothers, and I've been a little disappointed. I think Annie's heirloom seeds have been a little better for me. But I think what I might do even next year is try Johnny's, because I think Johnny's is known for having great seeds too. Another breakout star before we head on to the front yard is the leopard plant. I think it's called the Bilboa, but it is doing great. And even the ones that I had over here in the ground looks wonderful. And it doesn't get a whole lot of water here, but it does get a lot of shade. And it does get some water, so I think that's probably enough for it. Also, I know some of you were asking about the my grass propagations, because when I tried to divide some last year, it didn't divide very well. So I took some of the small parts and I put them in little pots, and these are the ones that I have that are alive, and they are growing and looking gorgeous. So I'll be getting those in the ground probably sooner rather than later. I might let them get a little bit bigger first. I think if you would ask any Japanese maple lover, what's your favorite maple? For me, it's going to be the time that they leaf out. And right now, Moonrise has that special spot in my heart. It's one of the last ones to leaf out for me. And this one is like a full moon that I just wasn't sure was going to make it, because they don't do great here normally. But apparently Moonrise likes this particular area. But that color, oh my gosh. Look at how beautiful that is. Just love this one here in my yard. I have tried unsuccessfully to propagate it too, but wow, really putting up a great show here. Love this one. And since we put up the arbor, I do want to tell you that I got a couple of climbing roses too from David Austin. So I believe this one is Crown Princess Margareta, and you can already see that she's got a lot of beautiful blooms already starting on her, looking gorgeous. And then over here is Bathsheba, and I think this one is going to be absolutely gorgeous too. Got those soft kind of creamy oranges over here. All right, so this is a big area that we improved on about a week or two ago. There were a bunch of small trees in here that we had to get out, and they were tough because I've got some Drake elms that just love to use my yard as a nursery, and it took us a long time for me to get to a point where I was able to dig them out after my surgery last summer. But here I have Jean May that I got from, I think, Camellia Kingdom in Georgia, I believe it was, but put on a lot of great new growth. I was finally able to move my dogwood, red flowering dogwood, so it'll get more sunlight in here. Really feeling hopeful about that. And then down here, my princess bush is coming back. Would love to propagate this one, but has been a little bit challenging for me. And then I put a Orange Dream Japanese maple in this little bed right here because I thought it would appreciate all that shade and hopefully be a beautiful color when the few bits of rays hit it rather than being in complete shade. And then if we make it across my yard over here, I know that the show is over for my Lady Emma Hamilton, but oh my gosh, was it a show. Just, I know you can see all the deadheads on there. Absolutely glorious stunner, not gonna lie to you. Got a little bit of the black spot going on this one though, little disappointing, but I'll probably go through and pick off some leaves and give her a little treatment, but really doing great. I also moved all of the agapanthus that were in here, and I moved them all down to complete shade, because in Florida, if you're gonna have agapanthus, it needs to be in complete shade in order to flower. This is Windermere, and it too put on some blooms, but its growth is more vigorous. Not quite as many blooms, but still very pretty. Not a great scent, or at least not a strong scent, but still really good. I am nursing my lady gardener back from the brink of death. And then the poet's wife hasn't bloomed yet, but it too has got some blooms getting ready to on there, so exciting for that. I've been planting dahlias. I think I counted out that I had something like 30 dahlias to put in the ground because it was from my birthday money from Lowe's, and I'm slowly but surely putting a lot of them out. And some of my salvias are doing great. These are from High Mountain Nursery, or High Country Nursery. I'm not quite sure, but really looking pretty. This is the Texas Fire Chief or something. It's really doing great too. And then let's go ahead and look at my agapanthus real quick. So you can see here down in complete shade, I've got a lot of flower stalks coming up, and it'll probably be blooming over the next month, but exciting. And you know, I don't mind an en masse planting, so you can see some of the new ones I put in are looking a little scraggly in between, haven't quite filled out, but I ain't worried about that. It's gonna be just beautiful. And here I feel like I'm leaving the best for last today. The last big areas that I've been working on are over here in the garden. So now you can see a lot of my rows of Sharons. This is a purple one that I got off Etsy, looking great. Some more dahlias. Oh gosh, I can't remember this variegated Rose of Sharon, but it's doing beautiful. I got a plumbago in here. Some, I think it's guara, wildflower. This is gonna be a pink. Now, I know I said that Proven Winners has not been great for me, but it has been good for my Rose of Sharons. So that one I feel like is a win. This one is a blue Rose of Sharon. I know it's very small, but it came to me like 3 inches tall. That was a bit disappointing, especially if you're buying a $20 plant and it's only 3 inches tall. That's really sad, but that was from Proven Winners Direct, by the way, my friends. And then another pink Rose of Sharon. Oh, my azalea down here, not quite done blooming, but really love the coloration on this one. And then over here is the other big area. So let me tell you, Bluestone perennials knocked it out of the park last year with these big football mums and quilled mums, specialty mums. So because of that, this is my cathedral bells. She's getting ready to bust too. But here, I have gone ahead and I have planted more. I have gotten more of these beautiful mums from them because apparently they like Florida and they like a lot of sun. So we are putting these mums in the ground and hopefully they will grow. A lot of them, if they lay over, that's okay. They'll just make more mums for me. But they are looking gorgeous. The other bluestone perennial order that I placed was for the asters, Stokes aster. This one is called Stokes Bluestone, but it has put on a ton of growth. And this is one I've just been wanting for a while, but it was hard to buy a little plant for the price everybody's asking for. But I got it at Bluestone during their half off sale, and they just tacked it onto my mum order, so I didn't even have to pay shipping. And this is a win for me. So I can't wait to see those beautiful blossoms. All right, so that's gonna do me for today. I hope that you have enjoyed looking through my garden. I hope you've been able to get some ideas about what might work in your garden. But I am looking forward to doing some real gardening this year and not another surgery. Anyway, I hope you're able to go out and make something beautiful in your world. Bye, y'all.